Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. My name is Dino, the Genetic Marvel, and I am your host. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Crystal Morency. Good morning, Crystal. How are you today?
Good morning, Dino. I'm doing actually pretty good. And it's a nice, beautiful day. And I got a fancy new ring.
Yeah, it's a very nice ring. Well, why don't you explain?
It's a family ring.
Explain that first.
Okay. Well, because it's a positive note, so I will explain that first.
Yeah, let's start on a high note.
So,
Yeah.
let's start on the high note. So I was actually a little bit bummed out, like a couple weeks ago and stuff, because I wasn't feeling so, valued, I guess you can say. And then today, I got surprised with the gift from my stepfather thanking me for all the, stuff that's been going on, and I've been helping out a lot around, and it's just been nice to have them as much as it's nice to, them to have me. So it's just nice having that family bond. As you guys know, I'm not quite used to it, so it freaks me out a little bit, and I considered myself crying like a bitch. But it is beautiful, and it warms my heart, and I am not a psychopath. Because I did cry, because I have emotion. That's the only thing separating from me from a psychopath, and I'll take it. So, Dino, how do you do today? And what does your shirt say?
It's just the Do You Smell Popcorn shirt.
I just used to... Oh, I love the popcorn shirt.
Yeah, so...
I want to smell you.
Nah, that's probably a bad idea. Just smells like crying and farts on my side. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to apologize for now. This may get a little emotional on my end. I found out this morning my aunt passed away. And, this is the thing, is I try and relegate things just in that, old people will pass away, especially if they're sick and stuff like that. It's just soften the blow for my own self, right? It's a self-defense mechanism and stuff like that. So the problem is that today
doesn't make it easier.
No, it doesn't, but it you can prepare yourself, right?
Yeah.
When my dad was ill, we knew he wasn't getting better. So as hard as it was, both emotionally, mentally, and everything, we still were already on that path of knowing, so it wasn't as bad. Now, this is not what happened today. My mom only has one sister, and that's who passed away. Now, my mom is from a Greek village that's way up in the mountains. It's about 1,500 meters above sea level. And, she had a farm. My aunt ran a farm whole life there. It was very peaceful and things like that. But what actually... So, now, a series of events that really, for me, I'm right now, I'm very emotional because it's still very raw. But, as well, I'm very angry with how it played out. And you know what? Maybe I'm the asshole here. I don't know. I'd love to hear some feedback on it. Because,
Tell it.
well, so I found out that my mom usually calls her sister like every 2, 3, 4 weeks, depending, right? Because it's still expensive to call up in the mountains, and my aunt is busy and stuff. So they try and just, keep in touch. And so what actually happened was she was sick. She had all sorts of stuff, but she was a trooper. And anyone who's ever been close with a farmer, cows don't know that it's Christmas. They don't give a shit. So the work at the farm just keeps on keeping on, right? I helped her milk goats and stuff once. It's crazy stuff. So she fell down a set of stairs, and they found her dead at the bottom of the stairs. And this is where it gets really bad, is so her son found her, which is horrible, but he's a grown man, has a family of his own, couldn't find my mom's number. So that happened 2 weeks ago. My mom tried to call her sister yesterday, couldn't get in touch with her, so I only have one cousin in Canada who I've really started to get closer to as I got older, and her husband is from that same village, and so my mom reached out to them and said, "Hey, do you know anyone's number that I can call to try and find out what's going on?" And they, it would be my cousin-in-law or her husband, his sister knew someone, called them and found out what had happened. And then it's like, so 2 weeks ago, and you couldn't look around for my mom's number to tell her that her sister died. And that really enraged me. But it got worse because, so to make a long story short, I don't really communicate with my siblings for, let's call it religious reasons. And so if I reach out to them, they will respond, but we don't, unless it's something important, we don't really talk. And the way I found out this morning, after we recorded today, was I got a text saying, "Mom's sister died. She just found out." And so...
Just after we finished talking about texting communication and not being
like literally within minutes. And
literally,
when my dad was sick, I was spending every other night with him. Like I would stay the whole night with him, and that was because I'm like, listen, my dad has done so much for us. He shouldn't die, like, because he was getting confused, and he shouldn't die confused alone in a place he doesn't know. That's not right. So I was trying to mitigate that by staying there overnight. And my oldest brother called me when my dad passed away and said, "Hey, listen, he passed away." I said, "Okay, I'm just getting up. I'll be there in about 45 minutes." And I drove from where I live in North York to the north end of Brampton to see him. And everyone waited for me, and it was nice. So a different brother today was the one who texted me. And what really got me was that he said, mom's sister passed away. And it's like, so my mom would be from an area that you would refer to as what used to be Macedonia. And there's a lot of controversy in regards to what Greeks are and Macedonians are. It's a whole big thing. And that language that they speak is dying because it's not written anymore. So people speak it, and it's a very old language, but essentially nobody's really passing it on either because they just speak Greek. That's what they learn. And in Greek, in Macedonian, we would refer to her as Teta. Teta was auntie kind of name, and it what got me the most, and like her full name was Eleftheria, and it's like, so you're saying our mom's sister, who our whole lives we referred to as Teta, you didn't call her that. We all know her name is Eleftheria, and you didn't say Aunt Eleftheria, or in Greek it was Thea Eleftheria. You just said mom's sister, and then on top of that it was by text, and I'm really not okay with that because it doesn't. It's there's a saying in Chinese that Victoria was telling me, and the direct translation is when someone does something and it doesn't taste human. It's that it feels wrong when someone does something like that, and that's how it felt to me. Was like, that's not a human. You don't do that. And just to go on the record here, if someone's passed away, call them or go visit the people that need to know. Do not text them or post on Facebook about it and things like that. If you don't know who they know, Facebook is a great avenue, and that's very useful. But again, do not text them. It's inhumane. And I'm honestly, I said some very callous things earlier today, and I don't want to repeat them. But I am going to stand by them. And I've explained to my wife that how we're going to act going forward when it comes to that sibling of mine, because that's not okay. And it really I try and protect myself from feeling emotion. I don't like to let people dictate how I should feel. That is one of the things that I'm very proud of that I do, that I'm in control of my emotions, and I don't give that power to anyone. And this really affected me, and it really bothered me. And the only reason I haven't responded directly to him is because I know that would instantly, because he lives with my mom, him and his wife. And I know that it would instantly go to my mom and it would burden her. And that's the only reason why I'm not doing it, because it's just such a garbage thing to do that I'm like, I'm not going to do that to my mom. Because as soon as I found out, I called my mom. We talked. She told me about it. I said, how are you doing? She's like, I'm okay. She was crying. But it was fine. And I said, you know what, Mom? I understand. And I was crying too. And I just said, I'm going to call you tomorrow. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to talk to her. And the thing is, me and my mom, I taught her how to text, because I don't like talking on the phone in general. So when she just tries to talk to me and stuff like that, I get very aggravated. I don't like talking on the phone. I like talking face to face. So I try and visit her. Right now I haven't seen her in months. So it's like, it's really bothersome that I can't give my mom a hug. Yeah. It's not good. But
Hey, Dino. Hi, hon.
hello.
Can you want me to kind of like input for a minute?
Sure.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Just to kind of maybe put like another, just give you something for it. So that way take you out of it for a second.
Probably not, but you can go for it.
No, I can go for it just for a second. Like, I think that maybe, like, I understand that you're upset about how your brother messaged you, and I understand that's not the way to go about it, but I think that takes away from the loss that your mother's going through, the fact that maybe you're upset more because he gets to be there and comfort your mother at a time that, and I think that might be like, maybe there's something there between you two, but right now is not the time.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
For that.
I agree with you
like
wholeheartedly.
right now and I know that you have this emotion, but that emotion maybe could be used towards like even the talking on your mom, taking that energy and actually talking.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because you just said about the text, and I don't want to make you. I want to make you feel good and tell you that yes, you are in the right to say that your brother did message you in a horrible way, because that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that is a bullshit way to go about it. Okay, that I agree with you 100%.
No.
I just think that maybe the focus right now, that anger. It's an emotion to protect yourself from emotions,
Sure.
like the vulnerable ones.
Well, it's very possible.
So I think,
it's not, and see
maybe you could be like a little bit, because you haven't seen your mom, and I know you miss her, and I know you love your mom. Your mama's boy completely, so
true.
I get it. And then your brother's with her, and I think maybe you have like a resentment because he gets to be with her right now. So anything he does in the manner that he does it, which is horrible what he did, but in the way that he does it, it might affect you a little bit more. But right now, that maybe emotion could be turned towards your mom and saying, "Hey." Calling her up and being like, "Hey, I'm here for you, and I get it."
And that's what I did. And you know what? And I'm over the anger part about it. It's more so, and actually, and it's funny that you would say that, is because there, two of my brothers with their spouses live in my mom's home, and the one of them is my second oldest brother, who's become a great man. He used to be. Have a really short fuse and always be aggressive. He's actually the shortest out of all of us, so it was always very funny. But he's become a very patient and kind and thoughtful man over the years, to the point where he says some stuff and I'm like, wow, okay. It's quite surprising. But the brother who texted me, he is a piece of shit. So this is the thing, is the funny part is he is actually, out of all the siblings, he was the smartest. But while I joke and say how I'm lazy at an Olympic level, he's not. It's almost like he's maliciously lazy unless it's something having to do with his wife. And his wife is a piece of shit too. And so it makes it that much worse, because this is the thing, is you're right, is that of my other brother, I'm happy that he's there to console my mother. The brother that texted me, I'm sad because I know he won't console my mother. That's more so than anything else. Me not being there...
He's trying to maybe make it
if he even discusses it, he just says... Like, he's not... He's smart when is only for his own gluttony of person. Do you understand? Like, it's not he's gonna be made to look good, then he's the smartest guy. And that's the thing is, out of all of us, he's the only one that got into a university. And then so we grew up in a very religious household. I saved myself for marriage. All of my siblings did as well. And that brother, who was the only one that got into university, my dad said, listen, you want to get married? No problem. Move into the house with your wife. No problem. I'll continue to pay for school. Just go to school and finish. And he ended up failing courses. He went to Ryerson and he failed 2 courses and then tried to take them again the next semester, failed them again, and that's when you get suspended for 5 years. At the time, I think it was, suspended for 5 years. So, and then he essentially just never did anything again, and then just suckled from daddy's teat because my dad had his own business. I'm the only one that never worked. Like, I worked for my dad, but then I went and found a job elsewhere. So that brother, and listen to it this way, just to put it in perspective, he's the guy where we would have a family get together. Okay, when I still got together with the family, we would have a family get together, and we're like, okay, we'd be like, hey, we're waiting for you. And he'd be like, yeah, just start without me. I'm like, no, we don't want to start without you. We don't start until everyone's here. And he's like, well, I'm on my way. And I would get on the phone and go, honk your horn. Honk your horn. If you're on your way, honk your horn. He's like, oh, you're a jerk. Yeah, that's what I thought. He was still at home and was like, oh, yeah, I'll go a little bit later. Going, who are you being late for? And that's like, he was that kind of a selfish person where I'm going, what in your mind would make you think that that's how you should treat, like, look, we disagree on a certain stance and that has resulted in a fissure in the family, but am I his enemy? No, we're still blood. And for me at this point, I'm going, oh, what you've done now is you're saying we're no longer siblings, and that hurts me, because what did I do? Why you wouldn't go out of your way to treat your worst enemy in that fashion? So why would you treat your brother? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm over the anger part about it. I'm trying to understand what possibly could be going through his mind that makes these kind of actions make sense. And to top it all off is, I just found out that another comic in the Toronto scene has just passed away, and it's a bunch of people saying that it was a younger woman. She was very funny, very charismatic, nicest person, but nobody's said what happened, which obviously it's nobody's business. But it's like, oh, she passed away. And you're like, what the fuck? How did she pass away? And now I'm just standing going, well, fuck today. Today fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And it's just so, I don't know. And that's the thing is, like, nobody's good at dealing with death. And it's, and you don't want to say, oh, well, it's different for me. No, it's hard for everybody. There's no, and like my dad passing, fuck, I still have problems with him. That was years ago. Just because it fucking sucks. And that's why, like, you try and understand it, what goes through people's minds, but I don't know.
But I don't think you should. I don't think you should try to understand people. I think you should just try to understand yourself. Because you can't boggle your mind with what's going on with somebody else.
I accept the challenge.
Because
I accept the challenge.
You're gonna end up you're gonna make yourself all upset because you'll never will. You'll never get it.
I might go crazier? Is that what we're saying now? Look at me!
The world is crazy. Humankind is crazy. We repeat the same things over and over again, expecting different results. It's a definition of crazy that we
Someone's been reading a book. Starts with a D, ends with an I think. No, you're right. It's and that's like the frustrating thing is, on a daily basis, I'm
not good enough for a thesaurus.
Not yet, hun. Not yet. Okay. Maybe soon. Christmas is around the corner. Christmas is around.
When I can spell it, I can have one.
There you go. That's the winner. I'm actually really bad at spelling, so I'm horrible at spelling.
How do we spell thesaurus? I'm like, I know there's an O-U-R-I-O-S.
I don't think there's
something
I
like
don't
that
think
in
there's
there.
an O. I don't. And now I'm gonna find out. No, now we gotta find out.
Thesaurus. There's got to be an O. Or thesaurus. How do you like?
There is definitely no. There is definitely no thesaurus. I just looked it up. So
Is that not such a word?
Thesaurus is.
Is it a word that we made
No,
up?
there's no O in it.
Like all the rest
There is
of my
no O
words?
in thesaurus. That's the, yeah.
What?
It's
How do you
Thesaurus. Thesaurus.
I would have never got that.
I knew. You know what? But I always have a problem, and I'll mess up like I and E, which order it goes, and A and U, and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could have gotten most of those letters, but because you said there's an O in it, I'm like, I don't. Is there an O in it? Am I wrong? Shit. No, I'm not.
A thesaurus. Oh, I was trying to say sore, like, you know, like.
Yeah, but it's
But I
sore
get it,
like dinosaur, not sore like
You're-
ow.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
It's no.
Still. Dinosaur.
Let me
Now
have
you
this
me
win.
spelling dinosaur in
Let
my
me
head.
have this win.
Okay, you win. That's why I'm saying. Yeah, because now I'm trying to figure out how to spell dinosaur.
We're
D-I-
both sad and dumb, okay? We're both sad and dumb. Fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Welcome to our podcast, everybody. How do you do?
I know, eh? Like, subscribe, and share with your friends, guys, because we are always positive, apparently. Ta-da!
Our first 3 episodes, like, via just podcast. I'm sorry, but we could have. We started off rough for the first 3. So those people, we apologize. Please check us out on YouTube because the rest of the videos before those were pretty damn good. But
They're all the listen.
No,
they're all
I'm
the
super
same.
smart in one of
they're
them
all the
going-
same. They're 50-50. We're either gonna give you something smart to think about. We're gonna talk to you and pick apart something that you've been interested in. We definitely make
you're
you
going to
laugh.
want to go cut your
Yeah,
wrist.
we'll make you laugh. or Crystal will make you cry. I don't do that. As we saw today, I don't make people cry. Crystal makes people cry, though, for sure. It's not true. It's not true.
Not true.
She makes you sad on the inside. That's what Crystal does. She destroys your inner workings, so you know. Whereas I just, that's what I make you think and say, that makes sense. And then you shed one single tear, say, I have emotions. So, Lord Constantine Bletzis, you've taught us how to use emotions.
And I lay it down on the couch and let it all fucking out.
You know what? I really feel like this is like, because there is a therapeutic component to this, and we do our best not to make it about that. So I do apologize for my significant rant earlier, but it's.
We both do it though.
And
we both have done it.
We don't do it without adding value, though, right? And that's the whole thing. Is that I have to admit, though, I definitely feel like if you got a picture of both of us in therapy, it would be me talking and you going, just like bubbling, and guys going, I don't know what she said. The therapist just go, they're there? I don't know. And they're like, are you? They would look at me and be like, are you a robot?
Therapists love
I'm like,
me.
I might be a robot.
Therapists love me. They love me. They love me. Either that or they're like doing crazy research on me. I don't know. They like to keep me around for a while, that's for sure.
Let's talk MK Ultra. No, Crystal's been being dosed with LSD.
No, I am not. Shut up. Fuck. I'm like, I do not want to think about that.
Have another bite of that flaky, lady. Go for it. She was eating a flaky this morning, but she didn't say it, and she kept on trying to hide it.
It was a fritter.
I saw red jelly. Cherry strudel. Cherry fritter?
It was a cherry
Disgusting.
strudel thing.
Disgusting.
Strudels.
I'm gonna message my wife and tell her to bring
Strudel.
You know what the worst part is? That all day I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be up to doing another podcast today. I'm not, in the right state. And Crystal keeps on trying to throw stick at me and is like, bah, that's funny. And I'm like, yeah, not funny. And she's like, oh, maybe it's funny. I'm like, no, it's not funny. She's like, you're pretty. And I'm like, all right. I'm not sure how relevant that is, but let's see what happens.
I just want to make you feel good for a minute. You know, like, hi.
Well,
How you doing?
I'll tell you this much.
If I was there, I'd give you a raspberry.
Definitely felt guilty masturbating earlier trying to make myself feel better. So that's definitely... Just so you guys know.
You just made yourself feel
Well,
worse.
you know, during the process, but then like the 30 seconds down, it was like, you disgust me. You're filthy aunt. You just found out, you sick fuck. And I'm like, I just want to feel something other than sad, people. And it's, you know, it's tough. I don't, like,
Oh, I'm twisted like that. Don't worry. I'm fucked up like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there a question? No, nobody's questioning if you're not. You're like, where's that red bean? I'm feeling sad. Where's the bean? It'd be fucking ludicrous. I can't.
Yeah.
Let's just go on the record that Crystal still has not made me cry. I almost made myself cry, but she has not. So.
No, because I'm going to do it by a card. I'm going to do it by a card. I'm going to get you a really sappy card.
I can't read at all.
That expresses how wonderful your friendship is to me and how much I value it and all that gushy stuff.
I would hold it.
All the ushy,
I would just light
stuff.
it on fire right in front of me and be like, this is what I think of this bullshit.
You would not.
Bullshit.
You would not.
I wouldn't. That would be so mean.
You would not. I would shank you so quick.
What do you have, like an 8-foot shank? That's not a shank's gonna do shit all. Like I see, you know what? When I see prison movies and people turn like a toothbrush into a shank.
I got time to build it apparently before COVID's over.
Every time I see a shank like made out of a toothbrush, I'm like, I'd survive that. That's no problem. That's not deep. You need like you need like 4 toothbrushes, and then I'm like, well, that's gonna hit something vital. That's definitely gonna hit something vital.
See, that's why I eat so much candy and shit, because I'm hoping to gain some weight, because if they ever find me and lock me up, I'm fucked. I get shanked. I'm done in the first one. Like, I got no meat protecting that shit.
She's paper thin. Like, honestly, it would be like they could walk up to her with a hole punch, you know, dink. Fuck. Shit.
There goes that heart.
Yeah. They would take out. That's how I feel like if you ever have an appendix problem, they're just gonna get a hole punch and just sew it up on the back and the front. It'll be fine. Just pop it out. Pop, pop. You know? Or like, do you remember those old like one hand hole punch? So you just punch one hole, like that's what it is.
Fuck, I wish it was that easy.
I got my gallbladder out. That sucked, but yeah. It's fucked.
I'm like Franken. I had to get cut right open.
Really?
Yeah, I had an emergency because I had ulcers explode and it was just a bad situation. And then it ended up taking too long. Oh, it was bad. But people, do not do drugs. Or stress out or eat spicy food.
Basically, stay in quarantine forever. That's what really, just never go out ever again. And don't talk to people. They're the worst. No, people are the worst.
No, because that's going to stress you out too. No, unless you're in quarantine in the forest. That's
when you get murdered by strangers. Yay!
No, in the forest, no. In the forest, you get murdered by bears. That at least you can maybe sing to them and have a couple seconds. Maybe they'll be your buddy. Like, you'd be a nice bear. I'm sure somebody would make you a great bear, Dino.
I don't think so. It's not really my thing. But, you know, hey. I'm not saying I don't like to be cuddled, but not my favorite pastime, just saying.
You said that sometimes you like to be the little spoon.
That is true.
Which is so weird.
And Victoria hates it. Well, I'm like, come on, cuddle me.
Yeah.
I could probably get away with it today, but yeah, no. Just for people listening so you understand, I'm about just shy of 6'2", and right now about 400 pounds. But I'm like a manly 400 pounds, so I don't have any tits or anything.
Because you don't believe... Because he doesn't believe that I'm 5'8". Really, Dino in person is only 5'6". So that's why he doesn't believe it. He's 5'6" and 200 pounds. So it makes him look like he's actually
Are you kidding
really
me? 5'6" and 200 pounds? I would be the hottest thing on this planet. The hottest thing on this planet. 5'6" and 200 pounds. Fuck, I'd have a lineup on my door. Victoria would have to become my fucking gigolo. She would be renting me out.
Is that not chubby for 5'6"? 200
Not with my
pounds?
build. I'm like, look, okay, I'm 400 pounds and I have no tits. Just I have pecs. They can bounce to sound, like I can bounce them to music. I'm like, I am a muscular guy.
La 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 bamba.
Not that song ever. Ever in my life will I ever do that.
La 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 bamba.
So
La 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 bamba.
if you just tuned in, just know that we have already covered the fact that Crystal cannot sing. She cannot do impressions. She does not know how to mime either. She's just very good at being Crystal. That is her skill set.
And I apologize for my laugh.
Yes.
Which I'm sure I'll have to do to you. And you could just forward me your mailing address and I will mail you some cupcakes and it will make it all better and you'll like it.
And that officer is how someone got murdered. She said she was going to send me cupcakes. It was a bowl of knives. That's what I got. A bowl of knives that looked like dildos. I bit into one because I thought it was candy and I cut open my face. That's what happened.
I would not do that. Ooh, we can make them candy apples.
That's not going to happen.
The first 100 people to send us your address.
Definitely do not.
We will make you candy apples.
Do not send us anything, please, for the love of Christ. I don't know.
We need to win them with something. So this is what we're winning them with.
I'm pretty sure.
That's how I won people over with cupcakes. So I'm going to send them candy apples. They'll do better in the mail.
I guess so.
Or are we going to get the morning motivational condoms made?
Yeah, I would like to get some merch, start to work on that. I was thinking that we might start doing that kind of stuff because, yeah, it's well,
fine.
we realistically, we definitely have some good ideas, and we've proven that we're definitely not retarded. That's also a beneficial thing, I think.
That, yeah. I did eat
People
glue, though,
do like
at one point in time. It was for GIMP. It was for that glitter GIMP. You would have done it too.
A glitter?
That GIMP shit made some
glitter GIMP.
Friendship bracelets. Remember that GIMP stuff? The plastic stuff that people used to make friendship bracelets out of? It was called GIMP. And they had like all different colors and they had like stuff that was glitter.
I hate to be a broken record, but you and I have had very different childhoods, I think. It's definitely...
Your parents would have bought you the GIMP.
Yeah, I would have gotten like, if I said I want a GIMP, I would have gotten the GIMP, like from Pulp Fiction kind of GIMP. They would not be... And that's why they'd be like, you're a fucking weirdo, get the fuck out of the house.
Do they have like GIMP fairies or something like that? Or is that like a different way of spelling it? Like GYMPH GIMP?
I don't know. I don't really want to Google it. I don't want those kind of pictures on my phone. I don't know what kind of ads that Google would present to me, and I tell you, I don't really want them.
Like when I try to look up bears fucking, and then all of a sudden we heard a... I don't even want to say it because I don't want to repeat it and maybe have it again.
See, this is the scary thing is we've all realized.
Oh, am I thinking of nymph? Like nympho.
Nymph.
That's really what I'm thinking of.
NYMPH is a nymph, like a forest creature.
Nympho.
Whereas a nympho would be somebody who is like addicted to sex and needs to all the time.
There we go.
There is no such thing as a gimpo.
Is
Definitely not. There's no. I don't believe that's a word.
No, I said nymph. I said nymph.
I'm pretty sure she said gimp in the original.
At first,
she said gimp.
I said gimp.
Words are hard, people. That's the truth. The source doesn't have an O. There's no such thing as a gimpo. There's a lot of.
I didn't say gimpo. I said gimp. Like, is that like gimpy? Like, I don't want to use that term because I don't want to get in trouble.
I don't know what that means. I definitely don't think we should say it. I definitely don't think we should say it.
Okay.
I feel like there's a guy with a rubber mask and a zipper over his mouth going, hey! Zip back up. Like it's not, I don't think that's a useful thing.
Oh my God, I want to get an image. I wish we could pop up pictures. I want to be able to, I want to edit this shit. Because I want to pop up pictures of a guy with a mask with a ball in his mouth and like the...
See, this is the thing. So Crystal has been bugging me for a couple weeks saying, hey, I want to try and edit stuff. And I'm like, no. So I've been like, yeah, maybe not yet. Let's just wait some time. And let's go through the creative process. See, I'm a fan of consistency.
Yeah.
And I want to add, so the next stage in our editing, what we're going to try and start doing is doing little clips to add up, to put onto the website too. And that's the next thing. And then when we do it live, then we're going to be able to start doing pictures and links and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky, right? Because
I'm not trying to take our editor's job or anything, just for the record. I just want to add little pictures and shit. Because I think it'd be fine. That's all.
I would rather use this is my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right, not saying I'm wrong.
Yes.
I would like to use his expertise aligned with our creative ideas. That's what I want, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
something you may have heard last time is that Crystal, not the best with technology, as neither am I. And I feel like if I were to send it over there...
I made us a really cool music video.
She did. It was very cool. And she made some of the ad posters that have been fucking great. I love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel that we're not right there yet. But... in time. This is why, in actuality, what I really want is when we start doing live, for all of us to work on learning how to edit things, and because that way we can all contribute and help out. And then, right, because honestly, what the ultimate goal would be able to make this a lot bigger and better and really entertaining for everyone, because that's, we want people to enjoy this as much as we enjoy it, and really to keep on doing
as much as we need it. We need it more than you guys probably do. And we're very thankful that you tune in.
Absolutely, guys.
And you appreciate us.
We really do.
We're so grateful for you guys.
Oh yeah. You know what, guys? We greatly appreciate support, and that's why I hate to be the guy that keeps on saying, like, share, subscribe, click the little bell thingy and stuff, but it's like, that's what helps the channel grow itself, right? And that's why is like we keep on getting, we're kind of tracking for like 1 or 2 every episode that gets released, a new subscriber, which is awesome. And really, like, right now I'm going through the analytics to try and figure out, what do people want to hear, because we'd like to hear more comments, but right now we're just kind of chit-chatting and talking about shit that's going on, right? So it's very, very, it's a learning process, right? But at the same time, it's like, that's...
Got a booger.
Yeah, you want to use the bottom of your palm to take care of boogers. That's because that way you can really either jam it out there or you flick it. You launch it with your... you can... Okay? For people listening, yeah. So, but that's the thing, right? Like, a lot of times I really feel, and this has benefited me in the past, was that I was dealing with an emotion or a situation that I had a lot of trouble verbalizing. And once you can verbalize something, it really makes a difference in being able to manage or even overcome said issue, whatever it may be. And I think that's really where we come to the table, where it's like, we talk about some weird, wonky shit. But at the same time, like, there's been stuff I've seen on the internet, and I'm like, really? Other people have that problem too? And I'm like, I thought that was just a me or just fat guy problem, but apparently it's everybody. And I was like, hey, who knew?
It's everybody.
And that's why it's like, life isn't easy. It's fucking hard. And we've said it before that there's no manual or anything. And the worst part is, like we talked a couple episodes ago, I think it actually got loaded the other day, maybe. Just kind of the difference between motivating somebody and encouraging them. And this is the Morning Motivation Rant. I want people to think differently because of what we say here. I do. I really do. At the same time, I want people to be encouraged for their own goals, right? What we are trying to do is to help broaden people's understanding and perspective to grow. And that's the thing, is we do that together. There's no and that's why it's like, I'm not someone's leader or teacher or anything like that. I'm just trying to share stuff that I fucking figured out that I wish somebody had told me. Because you know what? It fucking sucks sometimes.
I'm looking to be a cult leader.
Crystal, on the other hand,
So. Although I don't want you to believe everything I say and take away from everything I say, but I want to be a cult leader that's cool and relaxed and will not have 9 husbands or 9
she definitely wants
wives.
to bang your husbands. Definitely. That's
Ew, no, we discussed this. I don't have time for that shit. Who has time for 9 sandwiches, 9 blowjobs, and 9 teddies a day? That's just too much. It's just too much. I got shit to do. Like,
okay, so have you ever? There was a.
It's not making sandwiches.
There was a show on HBO called Big Love years ago, and it was about a guy who lived in Utah who was a polygamist, but it was frowned upon, right? And
yeah, because it's weird.
Oh, just no.
Don't be selfish.
Well, it's not even that, but you're like, it's so, like, there's a lot of people that talk about it and everything, and it was actually actually a pretty good show because they kind of got into it, like where it comes from and everything, and it's definitely got its weird things, but you kind of like, I wonder how it would be for a woman perspective, because this was mostly from the man's perspective, but it did have a decent balance, like I would say 70-30 split, so you got a little bit of an idea of how it was for the women that were going through it. But I just wonder how it would be if the woman was the polygamist, like if she
most of them aren't even like women yet.
Well, there's that too.
Like some women,
there's that too, and you're like,
some of them are like young girls, like 15-year-old girls getting told that they have to marry some man. That's not okay. That's pedophilia.
Well, that's
like, hello.
That's
these people. Like, it's really weird. Fucking shit.
No, I'm not saying, I'm not supporting it. Let's be very clear. I'm not saying that is a good thing. Right? I'm just saying.
I just want a cult. Yeah. That's it. I don't want the weird shit.
She doesn't want to be banging people in this cult. She wants people to be banging in the cult, but not she banging the cult. It's not Crystal fucking cult. No. It's Crystal and a fucking cult. So everybody fucks.
Yeah. Well, if they want to. I don't want it to be about fucking. Like, I want to play board games. I want to play bingo. Maybe we could make crafts. Maybe we can, like,
I think what Crystal wants to do is open volleyball. A bar where people live there. That's what I think she wants to do. She wants to open a bar where people can just live there. That's cool. I'll be honest with you. I'd sign up for that. I'd sign up for that more so than anything else. Because I've always
that's what I pretty much want to do.
I've always wanted to own a bar, but I'm pretty sure that it would not end up well because I'm not good with. I'm good with the social aspect of it and the cooler aspect of it.
I'm good with every single aspect of the bar industry. So if you ever want to open a bar and you have the funding for it, you let me know.
That's fair.
I know from top to bottom the bar industry. So if there's nothing I don't know. I know all the insurances, everything you need. I know everything, all the codes, everything.
That may happen. I'll tell you that much. That's the thing. Is for.
I know all the health regulations, everything.
My problem is that I would definitely I'd be the kind of guy that would like to buy a bar and then live above it. That would be my heaven.
Oh, me too. That'd be wicked.
Victoria would,
I want to die with it.
Oh yeah. Victoria would straight up kill me though. She'd be like, no. Because I would be home every day at like 3 o'clock at night. I would sleep tomorrow. It's not really that different from when I was out doing comedy, right? Like I would come home at 2 o'clock. She's already asleep, and it's not good for a relationship if you're not both party to it, right? But at the same time, see, and for me too, it's like I love to cook, so I would happily be in the kitchen creating stuff and serving people stuff. But like, there's actually one really cool thing so in Greece, a menu will be like a bunch of items that they've cooked for the day. But because it's not like it's a mom and pop shop, it's like they'll have like a big, like a lasagna. Let's say it's not a lasagna, it's Greek, but let's just use it for example. Yeah. If once that lasagna is finished, there's no more lasagna for the day. You know, it's done. Yeah. So it's like there's this side where it's like, hey, you could just deep fry more chicken wings, French fries, onion rings, fine. But then I'm like, I want to make like, there's lasagna available and stuff like that. But then you need a certain type of traffic.
Well, in a bar type thing, you can do that though. because a lot of them are open, later, you're open later. You can have somebody does late dinners. It can be like your thing. And then it's only having dinner for a few hours. So that way there is just enough.
Yeah.
And if it's fancy enough, portion control, they only give you little tiny bits.
Yeah.
You get 2 spoonfuls and put a fancy little swirl on the plate and charge them $100.
Well, that's so. Like,
No.
I like the idea.
Chef Dino.
Yeah. Oh, I love the idea of a bunch of small different plates for people to choose. The problem is that I cook. Whenever I cook, it's for like 12 people. Like that's so it's like I would have.
I'm like that too because I come from big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as big as me, lady. I come bigger. No. But it's
my family's big people.
Just call them fat, Crystal. We know you hate fat people.
No, I love fat people. I have a weird thing for. I don't know. I'm cool with them.
I'm going on the record again because she tried to give me a raspberry earlier through the camera. If you do that ever in real life, I will punch you in the head. Okay? I will aim away from the face.
You gotta be able to reach my head. Because if I get in a weird angle, you won't be able to reach me. Because you'll be like,
also not true. I am like an octopus. I have long gorilla arms that will just go gadget right on top of your head. I'll tell you this. I will do my best to not get the face.
You gotta catch me.
No, I have a car. I have a car that's faster than yours. I will catch you. Trust me there. That's true. I do. My dad left me a very fast car. I'm like, yeah, you're fucked. I will run your ass down and then pop you in the top of the head. But yeah, I will not try. I will do my best not to get the face. But that is your own. Well, we're not animals. We're not animals. But I am not a sexist person. Okay, if you attack me,
it's just because of his co-host. He doesn't want this fucked up on the top of his
also true.
On the video.
Also true. I'll say that right now. No problem. I have no reservations about that either. No, it's weird. I had my reservations about doing a podcast tonight, but I think this has been very nice. This has been
See?
It's tough.
See, you like my slow and steady torture. Just wait till it one day he's gonna come on. He's gonna have like these electrocuting nipple clamps. It'll be like
that will never happen. It's just I'll be honest.
Crystal told me it would work.
I have very sensitive nipples. I would never put clips on them. Period. Just never.
I know I couldn't do it. I can't do it either. I tried to get my nipples pierced one time, and I only ended up getting one done. Because it hurts so fucking bad.
Hurts, man.
And I couldn't do it. Oh, fuck, it hurts so bad.
I just get a little pinch and I'm like,
your yeah, when you have small boobs, your nipples are like super sensitive. And I was like, yeah, I'll get it done. February, I got it done in like February.
That's too cold.
And it was so cold.
It's too cold.
And, oh my God.
Do that.
And metal on your nipple, and every time your nipple gets hard because it's cold, oh my fuck. And I have to wear pad bras because I don't have boobs, so it's not a good situation.
Okay. We're going to title this, this is going to be sad, but don't pierce your nipples in the winter. That's,
No, I like it.
That's the funny thing is, like, I've asked people, I'm like, did it hurt? And people are just like, yeah, it fucking hurt. And then, like, to get your septum, the middle part of your nose pierced, that's also like the outside. They're like, no, it wasn't that bad, but right in the middle, they're like, that fucking hurts a lot because it's got to really punch through.
And your belly button hurts too. Your belly button hurts too, because if you like, and I'm not even fat, and if you like have any like, if it rolls over just a little bit, like it hurts.
So just so everyone knows, Crystal says if you're fat, you can't have a belly button ring. Thanks a lot, Crystal. That's really.
Oh no, people, you can as long as it's smooth across your belly button. Your fat doesn't roll over your belly button, because some fat people they have it still like their belly button's right there.
That means it looks like it's a giant mouth, and the belly button is the tonsil, like the right. Yeah, that's gross. This is so nasty. If you have a full...
No, Dino, do not body shame.
Fuck that. I'm fat. I can body shame anyone. If you...
Fuck, why do I never get to make fun of anybody? There was this chick on this comedy show that I did one time, and she totally looked like a fucking penguin from Batman. And I couldn't say anything because, like, you know, she's one of those girls that were like in her middle 40s, late 30s, that was single like me.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Kind of depressed.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Drinking a big glass of wine. And she totally looked like fucking penguin from Batman. I'm like, fuck, I can't make fun of her. I can't make fun of anybody anymore.
Here's the question.
Like, it sucks.
Was she funny?
No, she was kind of depressing.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Like, she was funny, but she was kind of depressing. It was like, fuck, dude, I want to buy you a new cat. Like, I feel like she's like.
The problem is she would eat it. It's not hair and all.
No, she probably has a few of them. Those are her buddies. Like, and I just felt bad because I'm like,
they're gonna eat her
I can't say anything, and it fucking sucks because she would eat me alive. She'd be like, oh, look at this bitch. Like, I just want to be, you know, a bridesmaid or be able to make fun of a chick that looks like Penguin off of Batman. Like, why can't I have these things in life?
It's about setting goals, people. Life is about setting goals and having a plan to achieve them.
If any of our fans are getting married and they want a bridesmaid, that would be tons of fun and super useful.
I'll be efficient. You heard me talk fancy. I'll do it. I have no problem.
Ooh.
I'll marry.
If I ever get married, will you dress up like Elvis and marry me?
No. What the fuck?
Because I've always wanted to get.
I would never.
Yeah, because I've always wanted to get married
dress up as
by
Elvis.
a preacher man named Elvis. Why not?
Because
you could be like Elvis before he died.
Elvis was kind of a pervert, okay? And he died on the...
Like a... What do you mean?
Like, he got married to a girl who was not of age, and when she became a little older, she got rid of her. Yeah, man.
All my idols are really bad people. It's like they're all
I feel like
if I liked you, chances are that you gave me candy at some point in time. Like,
that's not good.
In the back of your van.
I'm going to say this again. We had very different childhoods. I think that... I remember once... Okay, so one of the big things, especially... So I grew up in Brampton, which is outside of the city. It's a very suburban area. And I remember playing outside, and one of the big things was, like, if somebody pulls up their car and asks for directions, you don't go close to the car because they might pull you in. So this lady stopped, and she was asking for directions. And you know what?
Who told you that? That's some good parenting.
They told us that at home, at school. They told us that. Like, I didn't even go to fancy school. It was just public school.
I got told, get in and see if they'll give you a lift to the grocery store.
So, the funny thing was that, like, I was told,
and asked them if they have money for milk.
Well, a lady pulled up and she's like, do you know where this is? And I was like, yeah, I do. So I was within like a few feet. She's like, I can't hear you. So I was like, I'm not getting any closer, lady. I'll just scream it. So I did. And then my brother's like, just go closer. What is she gonna do? Pull you through the window? You're bigger than her. And I was like 10 at the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucking true. I kicked the shit out of this lady. So I was like, I walked up and I was like, hey. And she just looked at me. She's like, please don't come any closer. I'm like, there you go. No one was going to steal me.
Yeah, I talk too much. Nobody was going to steal me. I'd get super annoyed.
There's a meme going around right now, and it's Ralph Wiggum getting thrown through the window of the Simpsons house, and it says 20 minutes after I've been kidnapped, I'll be returned because I won't shut the fuck up. And I'm like,
I posted that.
Yeah, it was Crystal. That was Crystal. Crystal's like, so where are we going, guys? What's the plan? Who's gonna happen? Where are we gonna go? Is it a surprise? Will there be candles? Let's find out what's gonna happen. All right.
I've been kidnapped like a dozen times. But here I am.
What the fuck?
I came out alive, folks.
So, we are out of time. Let's go with motivation.
Do you feel better, Dino?
I do feel a little bit better. Less murderous.
Okay,
let's say I feel less murdery. I don't feel as murdery as I did before. That's a good thing.
We don't have to dig tonight.
You know what? Here. I have maybe a PSA or a TED Talk. I'll try and make it motivational, guys. When you're born into a family, there are certain duties and responsibilities that come with that. And there's a lot of people look at it many ways. I'll tell you this honestly. I've criticized what my own sibling did today, and it makes me very angry. But I would still die for him. Just because I'm duty bound by blood. And I think that's an important thing. What a lot of people don't realize is that the friends you choose in life are the family of your own choosing. You don't really get a choice about the family you're born into, or how they teach you, or who your siblings are. And having the I not to say that it's dishonorable, but to have the honor in your heart to die for someone you don't like makes you a better person. And I'm not saying it's the right thing or the wrong thing, but having pride in your value and your own principles is something that people can't take away from you. And that's why when someone is treating you worse or not as well as you believe you should be treated, you can say that's not okay. You can say that I deserve better. That will result in friction, and that's hard. That doesn't make it wrong, and sometimes it makes it worthwhile, but we have to exercise that patience and knowing your self-worth all at the same time, because we don't know what's going through other people's minds. We don't know what situations are happening, what they're dealing with, and those can be difficult too. So exercising patience, restraint, but also holding on to your own value are really important things that we're slowly kind of losing touch with on a grand scale. Everyone has value, and I think we talked about this before, is that, being able to know your own self-worth is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, because after every day, it's you who has to sleep with you. And if you can't sleep with yourself, then what the fuck is the point of this shit? People
love the fuck out of yourself.
Well, that's it, absolutely, because after all is said and done, tomorrow is another day, and we don't have to remain thinking about the past, but we want to keep it in the forefront of our minds that we do bring something to the table. Even the shittiest of people bring something to the table. And you know what? It's worth trying to find that in other people. At the same time, knowing it inside for you and even if you find yourself lacking, that's okay. Because that means, hey, I want to do more. I want to be more. And that's a great endeavor of your life, because that means that you have something to aspire to. You have a goal in mind. You have something that makes tomorrow exciting. And that is a beneficial thing that will keep you going in the worst of times. Because as we found out today, life can throw you anything, and it's not going to be easy, but that doesn't mean you can't handle it. Because as bad as things might be, it just means you have an opportunity to deal with it better in the future. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. That doesn't mean we can't do better and be better in the future. And I think that's all I got to say. Crystal, where can everyone find you?
Everybody can find me at Simply Me on YouTube, and they can find me, Crystal Morency, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and on Morning Motivational Rant with Mr. Dino.
Well, guys,
Where can everybody find you?
Well, you can find me in lots of places. So, Dino the Genetic Marvel on YouTube. I have a fan page on Facebook. Instagram. I do have a Twitter account. I don't tweet very often, but Morning Motivational Rant is ever expanding. We are uploading episodes on YouTube every day at 10 a.m. Monday to Friday. As well, we started uploading the audio to other services like Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and I think that is it for now, but we may be expanding again. So, things are happening here, guys.
Freaking A,
you
everybody.
You can reach us everywhere.
Hello.
But please like, subscribe, share with your friends if you think this is valuable. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, something you want us to talk about. We're happy to do our best to go through it. But I think that's all we have to say, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.